Oh my god. Hi guys. Can you guys hear me? Is this working? Wait, can someone put it in the chat to say like if you can hear me or not? Because I don't know. Wait. Okay, awesome. Okay, I think we're good. How do I know? Sorry guys, this is like my first time doing this ever, and I have no idea what's going on, and I think there's actually a lag time in the comment section. So I'm just seeing right now. Oh, happy birthdays. Thank you. Thanks guys for coming on. This is really exciting. Okay, so I kind of wanted to make it like a live Q&A or just like a chill hangout, nothing fancy. Give us more high school tips. Yeah, there's definitely a lag time. Okay. Actually let me show you guys what I'm up to. So I'm actually gonna film a college decision reveal video, but I'm using like freaking bananas instead of cupcakes because I figured bananas would be more healthy. And so I'm like trying to make these like banana school things right now, and it's kind of funny. But this is like where I'm filming right now. I was like kind of just prepping, and then I have the camera right there. But yeah, now I'm just talking to you guys for a bit. Coolio. All right. If you have any questions for me, just put them in the chat. You can ask literally anything, personal, school related, anything like that. Thanks, guys. All right. How did you start playing the flute? Okay, this is actually a really good question. So in 5th grade, one of my best friends, she was from Taiwan, and she like couldn't really speak English, but she brought her flute to school for show and tell. And I just thought it sounded so pretty. And so I like approached her and I was like, oh my God, can I play your flute? I really want to try it. And then I couldn't make a sound because if you play the flute at all, you know that it's really hard to make a sound to start with. But I was like pretty obsessed with the sound, and I was like, okay, in middle school, because we start having band in middle school, I was like, for middle school band, I'm going to play the flute. And so from then onward, I got a flute teacher, and I eventually was able to make a sound. And yeah, I just really love the instrument and the sound. Is your school online for the fall semester? I have no idea. So I'm going to go to Stanford, and they're making the announcement in June, which is like this upcoming month. But yeah, they haven't made the decision yet. How many books do you read a year? That really depends on the year. I think I definitely read more in middle school. In high school, like classes and everything was a lot. But I do try to read like every day, at least, if it's just for like 5-10 minutes. Yeah, but I really like reading on my iPad. I think first I get books on my iPad easier because it's cheaper to read ebooks than physical books. And also I can read it from my phone or my iPad wherever I am. If you have older siblings, did teachers recognize you? I do not have any siblings. I'm an only child. Favorite book of all time? I love Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. It's a fiction story, but I just read it over the last summer, and I just absolutely loved it. I finished it in like one night, stayed up till like 5 a.m. Yeah, okay. Thanks. It's so funny how you guys think I'm pretty. I think that's so funny because like a lot of YouTubers, they put on like a lot of makeup and stuff for their videos, but sometimes I literally roll out of bed and start filming, and you guys, yeah, that's really funny. What tips do you have for incoming sophomores? Ooh, sophomore year. I don't know. I think sophomore year is kind of odd because you're like almost an upperclassman, but you're not yet. But I would say try to get your hands on AP classes, or if you're in an IB school, I'm not really sure how you can approach that, but just try to take classes that are more advanced than your classmates, because colleges, or I'm assuming you guys want to go to top schools, but colleges really do value like where you stand in relations to your class. And so I think sophomore year is a good time to kind of put yourself ahead of the game. Okay, what platform did you use to make your manuscript for your book? I use Google Docs. How did you get and then for the layouts, I use Canva. So Google Docs to write all the text, and then I copied it into Canva and added pictures there. How did you plan for writing your college essays? They were so amazing. Oh my God. Honestly, I started like summer. Well, if you guys didn't know already, I applied to college twice, once as a junior. So I guess you can technically say I started planning my essays junior year because that's when I started thinking about all this stuff. But for my senior year application essays, I started it like, I want to say like June, July-ish, but then I seriously ramped it up August, September. And I don't really know how I planned for it. I just wrote so many drafts. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos, like my channel, when I was applying to schools, and I actually found the YouTube videos very helpful. And then I just had friends and a mentor, like an advisor, read over like basically all of my essays, but I didn't always take the feedback because I think at the end of the day, you have to stay true to your own voice. And sometimes having too many pairs of eyes on it can conflict your own judgment. So only get like opinions if you're really sure on like what you want for your essays. Thanks, guys. These comments were so nice. Okay, do you think Stanford, Ivy Leagues, and other private schools are going test optional, or are SAT, ACT going online? I think there's definitely a trend toward test optional, and I wouldn't be surprised if within a decade the Ivies and Stanford are test optional. But even with test optional, it's not like you don't have to take the SAT or the ACT. Like Uchicago, I believe they went test optional, but I think the percentage of students they accepted who actually didn't submit an SAT or ACT score were so minuscule. So taking the tests and getting a good score on the tests as of now is still going to help you in the application process. So I don't think it's that big of a deal that they're going test optional, actually. I don't think it makes too much of a difference. Where did you get college essay ideas? I think just like from my experiences, I think ultimately you get any ideas from like yourself, right? So you really have to do a lot of self-introspection, think about the experiences that really shaped you and what really matters to you. Yeah, and ultimately no one really knows what you should write about other than you. So I journaled a lot. I journaled a lot about my essay ideas and just reflecting on my life in general. This is sounding so cheesy, but yeah, just like think about it and write about it, and don't be afraid to write drafts that absolutely sucked, because that happened for me. But yeah, just don't be afraid to like fail, quote unquote, fail with your essays, because in the end, you only submit that final piece, right? So even if you have like 100 drafts that are bad, no one's gonna see it unless you want them to. Don't be scared. Sophomore year is great. I really like sophomore year. Do you have a website? Oh yes, I just set up my website yesterday. If you go to irisfood.com, just like my name.com, it would be really nice if all of you guys can go on it right now, because I need Google SEO to rank my website higher. Because right now, if you like search my name on Google, you will not find my new website, because I think just the fact that no one else has gone on it is really concerning. So let me just pull it up on my phone and show you guys, and hopefully you guys can go on it as well to help boost the SEO. But yeah, it's irisfood.com. This is like kind of an old article I wrote. I just copied everything over from an old WordPress website. But yeah, I write a lot of my thoughts and hot takes and life reflections on the website. So make sure you check it out. And I think I'm going to start integrating a newsletter thing to my website. I don't know, so I send out weekly newsletters on Tuesdays or Thursdays. I was going to start that this week, but I kind of pushed it off. So hopefully this upcoming week, I'll start sending a weekly newsletter to you guys about college stuff. And yeah. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of comments. Does Stanford require you to submit all SAT scores? No, it does not. It lets you choose your best scores. Yeah, so that will not impact you if you got a bad score. Hey, fellow band buddy, thanks so much for the publishing tips. When do you suggest working on college applications for incoming seniors? I would suggest starting now, literally just start now. A lot of people say oh, you shouldn't start writing your essays until a month before because you change so much as a person. But I think you can start just thinking about it, brainstorming, even writing essays now to just get practice on writing essays, and you don't have to use any of the essays you write in June. You can write another one that's like even better in September. But I think it's just building up that skill of writing essays that aren't persuasive or informative like you would for school, but writing essays that are personal and show your vulnerabilities and emotions. Do you have a website? Oh yeah, we already saw that. Sorry, I don't know where I'm gonna. For the illustrations in your book, did you just use the one Canva provided? Yes, I did. I did not. I can't really do graphic design myself, so I used all the pre-made ones. What is your favorite class you have ever taken? This is sounding like really nerdy, but I really liked AP Calc BC because of the classmates and the teacher. So it wasn't really the subject itself. It was really just the classroom environment. I liked how it was challenging and how I had a lot of really great friends who I was really inspired by, and the teacher was also great. How did you self-study for APs and where did you take the tests? I just bought a Princeton Review and Barron's books from like Amazon, and I like read the book, but I made sure I did the exercises at the end of every chapter. So I would read the chapter on the material, highlight or like make notes on anything that feels important, and then I would quiz myself by doing the practice problems at the end of the chapter. And I would do like one chapter a day or something like that. And then I would take the practice tests at the end of the book with a timer to really prepare myself for the actual exam. And then I would probably do some extra exams outside of the book as well and use Google or YouTube for extra support if I had any questions that the book couldn't answer. And then I took the test at my high school or the high school in my school district. I just signed up on the website. And yeah. Okay. I heard that, yes, the UC schools are test optional now. What are some activities that you think are important for your freshman year of college? Oh gosh, honestly, I think socializing is a great activity. Like, it's not like a structured activity, but I know I'm going to, if school's going to be on campus, I'm going to take a pretty light course load just so I have time to meet classmates. Because that's the biggest advice people have given me, is that college isn't just about getting good grades, but it's about like building the network. So I'm really going to try to prioritize that. All right, how's your experience like being an Asian American in the States? I'm from Singapore. I plan to go to the States for grad school. I think when I was younger, I felt it a lot more. Like I was like, oh, I want to look like everybody else. You know, I want to have like whiter skin, you know, all the assimilation types of thoughts. But I think as I got older and grew more into who I am and became more self-confident, I was like, screw all of that. Like, I don't care. And then I did NISLE, which was so transformative, not just for like the language aspects, but also from a personal development standpoint, because I went to Taiwan and I was like, oh my God, like Taiwanese culture is amazing. And I also went with a cohort of Americans. So all of us were American because it was sponsored by the US Department of State, but a lot of us were Asian American. And it was really cool to like see this community of an American bubble because we didn't speak Chinese all that well. And so we would like go to each other to like be like English buddies. And we had this really close sense of American culture. And that's when I realized like, oh my God, I am so American. Like it was that contrast of like me like wanting to go back to my American friends amid this like Taiwanese culture, which I didn't really feel comfortable with. That made me realize I am so American, but at the same time, I do have this like Asian cultural or Chinese cultural root. But I'm like proud of both of them. So NISLE was like transformative for just making me realize like who I am and that I am like proud of who I am. That was also really cheesy. Yeah, okay, let's go to the next question. How did you manage your time in high school in terms of a relationship and extracurriculars and academics? Honestly, guys, I think you can make time for anything that you want. It's all about how you prioritize things. And so, like, I think when people say, oh my God, I don't have time for something, I think that's such a BS excuse. I think that's just not true. Like at the end of the day, when you don't have time for something, that just means you're using your time for something else. So it's about how you prioritize. And I prioritized using like a planner every single day. I would try to multitask when I feel like my time is not spent well. So for example, this is really bad, but like during band sometimes, like I hated band when I was doing it before I quit. Like I would like literally read like my notes on my phone or something and have it on my stand. I feel like that's not something that you should do, which is why I ended up quitting band. But just like in classes that I felt like weren't really productive, or when we had class work time, like instead of like socializing like so many other people do in class, when we get work time, I would actually work. So I think that's a big tip. How did you handle the competition against your friends to get a spot at top colleges? Was there ever tension between you and your friends? I honestly think I have a really supportive group of friends. And while we were all trying to get to top colleges, I think just by virtue of coming from a small town, we're not really cutthroat or anything. We're pretty community oriented and friendly. So I never really thought it was a problem. It was always, okay, I'm cheering for you and you're cheering for me, and we want the best and hope for the best for each other. And we all want to just put our best foot forward. And, you know, it's not like I'm trying to put a foot over you and like trample you down. I don't think that was really a mindset. So I would say like just try to find like the right friends. Oh, everyone's on my website. Okay, that's cute. Okay, how is your initially experience as a heritage speaker? What were some of the most impactful moments during the program? Well, I think I kind of answered that with like the cultural aspect and finding my identity. And I think it was actually a great experience as a heritage speaker. I still felt challenged because, you know, like I'm not really exposed to so much Chinese in the States. And then also the reading and writing aspects of the classes were amazing. Like we took classes at a university with a teacher or a professor, and she was really, really good. Those classes definitely boosted my Chinese language skills by a lot. Who are your favorite? Oh no, I lost the question. I think it was like, who are your favorite? I'm sorry. Wait. Oh yeah. Who are your favorite non-college genre YouTubers to watch? Okay, TBH, I like literally don't watch YouTube. Like I guess I'm a YouTuber now, and I don't really watch YouTube, at least in the non-college genre. So I don't have an answer to that. I'm sorry. When did you graduate high school? I am graduating next week. So our school actually ended classes in March, and so I haven't had classes since March, but we don't have graduation until June 5th or June 6th. So it's next Saturday, and I think I'm gonna vlog it, and it will be like my first vlog since starting this channel, like seriously. So that'll be very interesting. Can you choose which advisor you get on Bullseye? Yes, you can. You can, okay, like Bullseye is kind of in a transition phase. I think we're getting a new website, and so the website currently is not too updated, and the whole system is, I guess, not the way we want it to be, because like I understand that's really frustrating. You sign up for a call and you just get a random advisor, and it's not that effective. So yes, you can get the advisor of your choice. Actually, just, I don't know, what should we do? You can Instagram DM me if you want me to be your advisor, and then we can go from there, setting something up. Okay. Is either one of ACT or SAT considered better? Nope, it is not. There is no difference. Do you have any writing scholarship platforms? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Writing scholarship platforms? I don't think so. I only applied to like 2-3 scholarships, so I actually don't think I'm the best person to go to for scholarships. And I think scholarships are also really dependent on where you live, because there's a lot of local ones which could be better for you than these huge national ones. So yes, rejection resume. Yeah, I love that. So I think there's the culture for in like the US in general that like we shouldn't fail, or it's like like embarrassing to fail. And I think that's just so not true, because to get to any success, you have to fail before. Like what I was saying with like writing college essays, like you're not going to get a perfect essay your first time. Like you're going to write such crappy essays when you start, and you just have to understand that that's totally normal. So it's okay to fail, and that's why I posted a rejections resume. How many APs did you self-study? I self-study for 4, macro, econ, micro econ, stats, and Chinese. Hi from Australia, hello. What would you give your high school experience out of 100? I would give it a 65. I'm thinking of making an app and accompanying website for my passion project. Do you think that would be enough of a wow factor? It really depends on what your passion project is. I think the motivation and the creativity behind it is more important than what you actually end up doing with your passion project. Do you believe that for Stanford you should have a spike in one academic area? I don't think it has to be a spike in an academic area. It can be a spike in, like, for example, like your background. So if you come from like a really niche Native American tribe and did some really cool things with that culture, that could be your spike. But say you're just like Asian or white, like not like a minority group, then you could still have a spike in an extracurricular activity, I guess you could say. Like my spike was kind of a soft spike because it wasn't academic. It wasn't something you could pinpoint as a subject area. It was more just like I had this mission to like bridge people together, and whether that was with like gender or cultures, yeah, it was kind of like wishy-washy. I'm thinking of, oh wait, sorry, I already read that. How do you suggest creating a website? Ooh, I filmed my process of creating the website yesterday, but I think it ended up being really boring. So I'm just gonna like spill the quick version here. You use WordPress.org. Do not use WordPress.com. That's really, really expensive. Use WordPress.org. It's free. And use Bluehost as the backend hosting service. So if you just Google anything like WordPress.org and Bluehost website, you'll find a lot of articles that can just walk you through the process of making the website. And Bluehost is like $3 a month, so it's a lot cheaper, and that's the only thing you're paying for. And then you do the front end, like the designing of the website and everything through WordPress. Okay, emotionally, what was, oh no, sorry guys. Okay, I keep like losing the comment as like a new one comes in. So, okay, I'm gonna try to find it again. Okay, also thank you everyone for being here. This is really fun. And yeah, okay. So, I'm thinking, okay, sorry. Okay, emotionally, what was the hardest thing for you in high school? I would love advice on social life in high school. Oh my God, emotionally. All right, well, I did long distance with my boyfriend for a year, I want to say, and that was kind of hard emotionally. Yeah, definitely, because I was doing college apps and we were doing long distance, and it was rough. Oh, also, I started driving junior year of high school, but I'm such a bad driver and I got pulled over like twice. And I don't, for whatever reason, like getting pulled over is really emotional for me. Like I'm like kind of scared of the police, and I like legit cried once when I like got pulled over because I was like lost. And I was like, so I drive to Salem, which is a city that's 1 hour away, every single week for my symphony orchestra. And I like my phone lost service when I was driving, and so I had no idea how to get home, and it was like getting dark. And apparently, I wasn't really paying attention to my speed, and so I was speeding, and then this cop pulled me over, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. And so I just like started like breaking down, and then he like let me go without a ticket, but I just felt so bad. And yeah, that's actually very emotionally draining. I hate driving. All right. How did you calculate the Common App section about how much time you spent on each activity? Okay, so I think this is like, I don't think admissions officers care that much about the time you spend on an activity. I would just give it your best estimate. Like, obviously for each activity, like I would spend a different amount of time every week. So it was like really dependent on the week. And so I just kind of like took an average, if you know what I mean, and just went with it. And I would kind of add up all 10 activities just to make sure that it's not exceeding the amount of time you have in a week, given that you have school as well. So just kind of double check yourself as you're going through to make sure it's realistic, and just give it your best estimate. What are you planning to major in? I think economics and computer science, but not completely sure. Like that's my best guess as of now. Do you have any tips for an incoming high school freshman that intends to major in econ? Oh, the National Economics Challenge is a really fun experience. I started that club. So it's like kind of a club that you can create at your school if it's not there already. So recommend that. Were you ever shy during high school? Oh my God, I was so shy my freshman year. And I think just by talking to upperclassmen and realizing that they don't bite, that helps a lot. And they were actually so supportive and just encouraging. So yeah, my school was really great. And I think in terms of the social aspect, and how nice people were. So that really made me like be more outgoing and unafraid to just speak up and, but I gave my school, like my high school experience, a 65 out of 100 because I low-key just did not like my high school because I couldn't really find people I related to, because most people aren't that motivated. A lot of people go to community college, or just state schools, and like people aren't really looking to go to top schools at all. So yeah, I think I just didn't fit in that sense, but everybody was super nice. We need to get to what are all the places you have traveled to? I guess I've traveled to like China, Taiwan, US, Canada, Spain. Favorite Netflix show? I really liked Never Have I Ever. What is your favorite book? Oh, as I said earlier, I really liked Handmaid's Tale. If you had to pick a school other than Stanford to attend, oh yeah, so I'm actually filming a college decision reveal video, and so you can find out in that one. I will be like eliminating all the schools to like the last 3 and the last 2. Biggest high school regret? Oh, that's hard. Regrets in high school. Oh, not quitting band earlier. Quit things that you don't like early. What do you do in your free time? I make YouTube videos and I talk to strangers over the internet. Do you watch any Chinese dramas? Not really. I don't watch too much TV or YouTube or anything. All right, what are your goals for the summer? Oh, yes, I was gonna do a summer planning, like summer plan with me, like goal setting video. So watch out for that. But I'm starting at a blockchain startup, so I want to learn more about blockchain. And I have a lot of other goals as well. So I'll disclose that in the video. All right, how did you go to Stanford if you are still in high school? I'm an incoming student at Stanford, so I'm going to be going to this fall. If you were to attend a liberal arts college, okay, I don't know, because I definitely don't like the small college vibe, so that's why I didn't even apply to any small liberal arts colleges. But I really can't answer that question because I'm not really sure. In high school, oh, where is your boyfriend going for college? He's going to Princeton. I'm a freshman and I already have a B. Is that okay? No, I mean, I think that's not a deal breaker at all. Like Stanford, for example, they don't even take into consideration your freshman year grades. They only take the last 3 academic years. So, and the colleges also consider your like growth trajectory. So for example, if you start off on a bad note and you go upward, have like an upward trend, that's actually a good thing. But if you start off on a good note and you start going downwards, that's kind of a bad sign. So keep that in mind. What activities did you take? You can check that out in my extracurriculars that got me into video. If you want to get recruited as an athlete, do you need to do a passion project? Maybe not, if you're sure that you can get recruited as an athlete, because basically the athletic part would be your spike. And I think passion project is a really great way to create a spike for yourself if you don't already have one. Did you have lots of awards in high school? Okay, low-key, if you look at my rejection resume, you will see that I got rejected from so many awards that I applied to. And in the end, you only have 5 slots to fill out these awards. And I actually found that I kind of struggled with filling out the 5 slots just because I had like other like little awards too. So I had to like figure out how I was going to put which awards in the 5 slots and which awards in the extracurriculars, like 250 characters section. So I don't think you need that many awards, like quality over quantity, definitely for the award section. I think this live will be on YouTube. I need to figure that out. This is my first time doing a live, so I will definitely try to like post it on YouTube so people can watch it later. Do I still have a chance at getting into top colleges if you are doing the hardest math and hardest science? I mean, you definitely have a chance, right? It's just about optimizing your chance. So classes aren't going to get you into college. You definitely need a unique story and spike to, well, I don't want to say just like spike, but a unique story and like a compelling factor to get you into the schools. What are some good productive habits to start before college, such as meditation, journal? Okay, I think journaling, scheduling, and exercise are like amazing. Like, I don't really believe in meditation. I don't know. I think it's just such a, like, meditation and minimalism, they're just like hyped trends in my opinion. Because I think it will work for certain people, but not others. So just really try these like habits for yourself and see if you actually are more productive through doing those habits. But for me personally, journaling is a great way for me to just get all the stressed thoughts out of my mind and onto paper so that I can function more productively without like all the crowded thoughts. And it also boosts your writing skills, so that's a plus. And then scheduling is just really important for me to, keep track of my time. So those are two habits that really keep me grounded. And as for routine exercise, that's also one that just gives me so much like dopamine and like endorphins that it just feels good. And I definitely feel more productive after exercising. So those are three habits that is great for me. I would say try those out for yourself and see if they work for you, because I think everybody's different. Okay. What are the bananas for? Okay, yeah, I'm filming the video and I'm using like bananas because you know how people use cupcakes for their decision reveals? I don't bake cupcakes and I want it to be more healthy, so I'm just using a bunch of bananas. How did you fall in love with running? I'm actually doing a 30-day running challenge where I run a mile a day. I know it's like kind of like a mile a day is like nothing for a lot of people. And TBH, I'm just really out of shape. Like I used to do cross country in middle school, but I'm so out of shape and I have such bad allergies during this time that like I like just doing a mile. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, but I think that's a great way to get started running. Just do a 30-day challenge on a distance. Okay, what is the next Q&A? This is like our next Q&A right now. This is the Q&A. My high school doesn't offer that many AP classes. Do you have any recommendations? Self-study for APs. That's key. I would love to see a video on how you organize your passion planner. Sure, I can do that. Okay, why did you start doing YouTube? Oh, because I posted my college decision reaction video because I always wanted to post one because I thought it was really fun. Like I loved binging those videos. And I did. And then people started asking me like more questions about college apps. And I was in quarantine, so I was like, okay, why not? And I actually really love making videos. You can actually I might have privated those, but I made like middle school vlogs to like when we went to Hawaii, like I made a vlog on that and they're so embarrassing. But I think I just really love the video creation process. It's really fun for me. So it's a good hobby. Where can we see your rejection resume? On my website, irisfu.com, William. Just my name.com. What is your opinion on tiger parents? I think, okay, there's this TED Talk on tiger parents by Amy Trott and her husband, who are like the tiger parents. And I think it actually makes a lot of sense. Like I personally don't have tiger parents, but I think the idea of having really high expectations for your children while supporting them with like love and just support like beneath is a great way to propel like children to like achieve and be self-confident. I really believe in the idea that like achievement builds self-confidence, and I think tiger parents essentially build self-confidence into their children by having them achieve at a high level. And if you look at Amy Trott's, the tiger mom's two daughters, they are doing great. They're like thriving. They have great social lives. They're not like awkward or antisocial at all. So I personally believe in it. I might be one myself. I don't know. Can you do more live streaming? Yeah, I really like doing this right now. So, okay, how long would you recommend people do passion projects? Okay, I think people are kind of getting this misconception that like passion projects are like a very narrow type of thing. But like passion project is honestly just kind of a word that I invented for like things that show your interests and values and that also have a community impact. And so it's a very broad category of things you can do. And so for how long or how many you should do, that's like completely up to you. And every passion project is different and it's like of a different nature. So I would say just try to be unique, do things that's meaningful to you and do them for as long as you feel like is like necessary for like your own personal growth and for your community. What do you think made you stand out as an applicant to Stanford? You can watch my video that's like note from my college decision. Note from my college admissions officer. She talks about what made my application stand out. What do you do during the day if I don't watch YouTube? I mean, I guess I like work at places like I have like 2 jobs and I'm doing YouTube and I hang out with friends. How can you tell that you're passionate about something and you don't just want rewards from working hard? That's an interesting question. I think the two are very interrelated. It's like 2 sides of a coin. You become more passionate about something as you work harder on that thing, but you also have to start working on it by having a passion or interest in that thing. So I think they kind of go side by side. Where would you like to live when you're older? I would say California. I love the weather in California. How do you improve writing skills? Journal, write a lot, just write. I have a personal blog. I've been keeping a blog since I would say like middle, early high school. Obviously, not everything I've written is out in the internet because a lot of stuff are really, really embarrassing. So yeah. Wait, Elliot Choi has bananas? I didn't know that. That's so funny. Okay, don't worry. I'm a runner and I'm super bad. Yeah. Um, what happens if you wait, sorry, what so wait. Any tips on how to organize the additional info section on the Common App? Um, I organized it by sections. So I had like additional awards and then I just listed them. And then I had like additional summer/winter break activities and I listed them and like how long I did it for. Yeah. So, I'm not sure if you answered this, but what schools did you get an interview for? Oh, that's a good question. I got an interview for, all right, let's look at them, shall we? So these are all the schools I got into. And I got an interview from all of them except for Vanderbilt and the UCs and the USC and U of O. So I guess like all the private schools except for Vanderbilt. But from the schools I got rejected from, I didn't get one from Columbia, Harvard, and yeah, I think those are, and Duke. Yeah. But I got waitlisted at Duke. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think interviews matter that much. What would you say is a good way to stand out for someone who likes biology? I don't know. I'm so sorry. Like, I think it really depends on you and what matters to you. Like, don't just do like the generic biology activities. I would say, again, like start something that is based off your own creativity and can impact a community in a way that hasn't been done before. And you can relate that to biology in some way. That's like all I can say. And then specifically how you go about that is completely up to you. Did you receive any college counseling/purchase college counseling as a high schooler? Yes, I did. Senior year of my college applications. I went through College Vine, which doesn't have the college counseling service anymore because I think they went broke and now they're a nonprofit. So I don't think they made that much money off of the college counseling service. So that's why they're not offering it anymore. But when I did it, it was super helpful. My counselor, she was a recent grad from Berkeley, I believe, and she just helped keep me on track and gave me that support because it's a very stressful process and there's so many questions that you'll have that are personal to you. And my high school counselor had like 400 kids under her belt, so it was really hard to get access to her. So just having that consultant or counselor from College Vine was amazing. How did you get your jobs? Watch my internship video. It was like 3 internships in a week or something like that. How and when did you have time to self-study for APs? Oh my God. In high school, I legit had like a 5 a.m. to like 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. sleep schedule. So what I would do is I would wake up at 5 and I would study for like 2 hours and then go to school at 7:30. How did you take care of your teeth? Oh, wow. I don't know. I brushed them. I had braces, so maybe that's why it looks okay. What do you plan to major in? CS and econ. What made you want to apply to top schools as a junior? Oh, if you don't know, I low-key hated my high school experience because a lot of people aren't motivated. I don't go to a competitive school at all. And I actually maxed out on a lot of AP classes junior year. And so there would have been very little classes for me to take senior year, which is true because senior year I actually took 3 classes at Oregon State University as a non-degree seeking student, just to supplement my coursework. So yeah, I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to have that much to do senior year. A lot of my friends were upperclassmen and they were all graduating. So it was kind of a sad time. And I was like, okay, maybe I should just skirt out of here as well. So I applied to schools and I was like, okay, but I only want to apply to top schools because I want to be with motivated people. So that's what I did. And I got rejected from like all of them except for Vanderbilt. And then I visited Vanderbilt and I was like, not really for me. Don't really like Tennessee, Nashville. Let's just wait another year. Do you want to study abroad in college? For sure. I definitely want to study abroad in Hong Kong or Oxford. How do you start writing a college essay? Watch my video on college essays. I have like playlists on like essays, academics, extracurriculars, everything on my channel. For someone who procrastinates, how do I stay productive? Oh, that's a great question because I'm also someone who procrastinates, but I think I stay productive by not procrastinating. And so like some of my tricks for that is to just literally turn off your phone, put it on airplane mode and just get started. And by getting started, it can be like a mental note that's like, okay, I'm going to do this thing for 10 minutes and just think to yourself that you're going to do it for 10 minutes. And then you kind of get the momentum going. And then by the end of the 10 minutes, you're like, it's okay. We can keep doing it. And so that's like how I get myself to start doing things. Did you take the ACT? I took both the ACT and the SAT. How did you feel about asking for letters of recommendations? Oh my God, I was so scared because I was low-key scared of my teachers throughout like most of high school. And I wish I started talking to them earlier. But like junior year and senior year is when I really started getting more comfortable with my teachers. And so I asked for rec letters in person. I would like go in during lunch and be like, hey, would you be willing to write a letter of recommendation for me? And they all said yes. I think it's really unusual for teachers to say no unless they have like way too many people asking them or they just really hate you. But hopefully you're asking a teacher who like you vibe with. So yeah, and also ask at the end of your junior year just to give your teachers time. What resources or books did you use to help write or format your book? I used Google Docs and Canva. How did you organize your TEDx event? If you search TEDx event organize on Google, it will have like so much instructions and you can apply for a license. How did you study for the SAT? I just took a bunch of practice tests, and after I realized that I was really sucked at the English section, I purchased Erica Meltzer's books on Amazon. I think in the ACT video that I made, I like listed a bunch of books that I used in the description. So you can check those out. Those were like the resources I used. My school starts at 6:50. I could never get no sleep. It's a fat rip. Yeah, I think high school is just not designed for optimal sleep. What were you doing in Yale's prom Zoom a while ago? Yeah, my friend was hosting the prom Zoom, I think. So he like invited me in. Did you go to any college tours or network with admissions officers? I did not network with admissions officers, and I visited colleges, but not all of the ones I applied to. Are you still interested in international relations and politics? Yes, I am. Wait, Mommy, do you want to say hi? My mom's here. Do you guys want to meet my mom? I'm on a live stream, by the way.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah.
Okay, the template is ready.
Okay, sounds good.
We
Thanks.
have only a limited amount of supplies, so if
Okay.
you go too late,
All right. Yeah, she just told me dinner's ready, but we only have limited food, so if I go too late, there'll be none left. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up in like 15 minutes. Okay. Are you still interested in international relations and politics? Yes, I am, but I think I'm just gonna go to Stanford and just take a bunch of classes and everything. I think I'm gonna do econ and CS right now, but like so many people are telling me that I'm gonna change my mind once I get into college, like actually go to college and start taking classes. So we'll see. Okay. Oh, okay. I got a fat reject from Princeton Prize in race relations. So I don't really know if my tips are if they're helpful or not. I think start the application early. I definitely started it kind of late because I found out about it late. So it's really great that you already know the award exists, and start it early, get people to read over your essays. And you also need a rec letter. So ask for the rec letter early. What's the best advice you would give for a current freshman or incoming sophomore? I would say watch the video on high school advice. I think that covers pretty much most of the advice I would have. When does your school end? My school ended in March, which is really, really whack because we couldn't really support online learning during Corona. But my graduation is next weekend. How do you think other people, teachers, and students perceived you during high school? I think a lot of people thought I was like super motivated and just like extreme with like how motivated I was. A lot of people told me to like stop doing so much and to like take it easy and stuff. Yeah. What college would you go to if you didn't get into Stanford? Well, that would depend on the other schools I got into, and I'm making a college decision reveal video going up hopefully tomorrow or sometime this week, so you can find out there. Could you make a video on good things to have done goals for each grade level in high school? Maybe. I will consider that, but I would also say there's a lot of good online blog posts about what you should be doing during each grade level. College Vine has an amazing blog for each grade level, so definitely check that out. Could you elaborate on what a likely letter is? A likely letter is when a school sends you basically an acceptance letter earlier than when they're supposed to release their decision. And it's like a recruitment strategy because the idea is if you tell somebody that they're going to get in earlier, they'll think about your school for a longer period of time. And so then they're more likely to attend your school. And that would be good because your yield rate would be higher and that boosts your US News ranking. So a lot of colleges are starting to do that. And no, I did not receive a likely letter. How do you show your passion in CS? Oh my God, I think that is so dependent on you. I mean, like, think about why you're passionate in CS and try to make an impact with what you're motivated by. Are you going to expand your channel outside of college admissions? I think so. I think after 10K subs, we'll go more outside. But even like, say, this upcoming week, I'm going to vlog my high school graduation. Who inspires you? Oh my God. I think my mom inspires you. My mom inspires me. She grew up in China and she is just such a go-getter. Like, she knows what she wants. She sets goals for herself and she just gets them. So I'm really inspired by that. What's your favorite music to listen to? Oh, I love Chinese music and classical music. Let me show you my Spotify playlist right now. I'm not sure if these playlists are public, but if you want to see my Spotify, I think it's Iris531. But yeah, these are my like top playlists right now. So I have the Wall Street Journal, it's a podcast, and then I have the Daily by the New York Times. And then this is like my work music. It's called Wholesome Instruments, and it's just a bunch of instruments. And then I have Empower, which is a playlist for like before an interview or a competition. And it's like Scars to Your Beautiful, 7 Rings by Ariana Grande, Hall of Fame, Morning in America, Get Back Up Again. And then I have this 祖国风味. This is like my Chinese playlist, and I honestly love Chinese songs. I think they're such the vibe. Yeah. Make banana bread with those bananas. Maybe. Were you allowed to eat lunch in the library? Okay, yeah, my school is so weird. They like allowed us to eat lunch in the library for a while, and then they banned it, I think, because it got too much. And so then I would go to the career center with my friends to eat lunch, and it was kind of the same. What is on your vision board? I don't have a vision board at the moment, but I have made vision boards before. What did you like about Cornell when you applied? I would say I actually really loved their majors. They have this really cool Chinese minor where you get to go to DC and Beijing to take classes and then complete your minor. How important are college tours in the admissions process? I don't think they're important at all. I don't know. I think a lot of people can't afford to go to college tours, so I don't think it's really taken into consideration. How do you suggest deciding the theme of your application? You really go with your gut. What do you want your theme to be? What matters to you? What are your experiences that are unique to you, and make that your theme? Did you have any supportive parents helping you with everything you've accomplished? Okay, yeah, my mom was definitely very supportive financially and emotionally, and yeah, in every aspect. I think she wasn't very pushy, but if I needed her, she was always there. What are the rules for 24 students to take gap year? I think it really depends on the school. So I know for Princeton, if you take a gap year, you aren't you're not guaranteed a spot the year after. So for example, if you were going to Princeton and you wanted to take a gap year, you're not guaranteed that you'll have a spot in the class of 25. You might have to wait till 26 or 27. So it's kind of whack. And I think that's the way they're encouraging people to not take gap years. Where do internships go on UC apps? It goes on your extracurricular section. You have an activities list, and on the UCs, you can actually have up to 20 activities, and you can organize them by internships, jobs, other like community, volunteer, things like that. Do you work out? I do. I love you so much. Thank you. How did you find out your passion? It seems very specific. Oh yeah, I think I just like did stuff, and I think, as I was saying earlier, like what your passion is and what your like what you work on is like two sides of the same coin. So as you work on something, you will become more passionate about it. And so what happens is I think I'm interested in something and then I start working on it, and then it kind of builds into more interest or passion. Have you perused College Confidential? I have, and then I realized it was really toxic, so then I stopped. How many hours of sleep did you get? And I would say like 8, 7, 8-ish. Can you interview a Stanford? Oh my God, yes, I already interviewed a Stanford transfer student like yesterday, and it will go up soon. Yeah, it will go up soon. Do you think creating an economics blog is a good project to start during this time? Sure, it's a good project. It's definitely not bad, but I also don't know how unique that is. You know, like it seems like anybody can do that and it doesn't take too much creativity, but definitely not a bad activity. Do you watch Calf Path? I definitely watched her when I was applying to college. She had some good videos. Do you think creating an I already saw that. Okay, so I mentioned this in a previous comment, but are you still thinking about doing a comparison between applications? For example, between Stanford and Duke? It's on my ideas list. I'm just not 100% on like how I'm gonna go about the video to make it entertaining. I'm also not 100% on whether or not I'm actually qualified to do that, because at the end of the day, there's so many factors out of your control in college admissions, and it's not like how I wrote my essay really made or break it. Like, of course, it contributed to the final decision, but it also might have been like, oh, someone else from my school district had legacy to Duke and I just didn't know about it, and they ended up getting in, and since they already took someone from my school district, they couldn't take me. So I'm thinking about it, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna, let's see, how did you manage everything, including a relationship and a social life? So, okay, I kind of answered this earlier on, but I think I don't have time is a fake concept. I think everything comes down to prioritizing, and if you want something in your life, you can definitely just get rid of something else that you don't want in your life and put the thing that you want on top. And so, for example, I like basically didn't use Snapchat or Instagram through most of high school. Like I would delete Instagram for like weeks at a time and just not use any social media. And I think that actually really helps, because for a while I was tracking my screen time and I would like spend like 2 hours on social media every day. And that 2 hours times 7 is like 14 hours a week. So that's like an entire day on social media every single week. And I was like, okay, this is not it. So I just deleted it. And I think that just made a lot more time than I would have had. How did you study for the SAT? As I said already, I just took a bunch of practice tests. And if you look at my ACT video, I linked a bunch of resources down, like the books I used. Can you do a collab with RP Park at Stanford? If he says yes to me, I think I reached out and then he just didn't reply. So he didn't see it, but I will try to reach out to him in person so he will actually give me an answer. All right. Do you think making one of my UC essays on starting the first hackathon at high school? Yeah, I think that's a great idea. That sounds very unique. And if you're passionate about it and you can write about it, then do it. What will you do once quarantine, social distancing, and travel restrictions? Well, first, we don't know when all of these things are going to end. And secondly, I will probably be going to school. How is quarantine where you're from? I'm from Oregon, and it's not too bad. I mean, I think Oregon has like one of the least amount of cases in the United States because we're so like, what's the opposite of dense? Like, we're not that populated, and our governor is pretty liberal, so she like shut down things like very, very early on, and so we didn't have too many cases. What parts of Stanford do you hope to get involved in? Good idea. I mean, good question. And I don't have too many ideas on that yet. I think definitely the startup scene and IDK. Do we need SAT subject tests? Depends on the school. MIT requires a math and a science subject test. So probably take those if you want to go to MIT. And I did take 4. And tips, just get the practice book from Princeton Review or Barron's. I think Princeton Review is better in my opinion. Get those books and just go through them and take the practice tests. Practice tests are the most important thing for standardized tests, just because it's exactly what you're going to see on test day. So just supplement what you don't know with the book, but otherwise just take a bunch of practice tests. What are some habits and routines you recommend following? Working out, keeping a journal, reading every day, and going outside during quarantine. Will you still upload in college? I'm hoping I will, but I honestly don't know what the time commitment is going to look like. I'm interested in... Oh, do you think that you should still join? I mean, if you're intimidated, don't not join Science Olympiad just because you're intimidated, you know? I think if you're intimidated, that's just a good sign that this activity is going to challenge you and push you to grow. So I would say go for it. And if you get bored and feel that you're not really getting that much out of it anymore, then stop doing it. Oh my God, 4 a.m. in South Africa and you're watching this live stream. Oh, you're so sweet. Thanks guys for joining. It's really fun to talk to you guys here. How did you create your 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. schedule? I mean, I just made sure that I went to bed at 9 p.m. and set an alarm for 5. What was one thing you did in high school that scared you? Oh, wow. Starting See the Voices, the video pal program, scared the shit out of me because no one else was doing it. And I was like, oh my God, like people are going to judge me because like it's different and it's, you know, no one else is doing it. You know, but then I did it and no one like cared. Like no one was like, oh, you're so weird for doing that. Like people supported me. People were like, oh my God, that's so cool. I want to join. Or people just didn't care at all and were like neutral. And so that just showed me that it's okay to just do what you want to do. And at the end of the day, people you meet in high school, like very few of them you're going to actually keep in contact with after high school. It's only going to be the close group of friends that you make that you're going to continue keeping in contact with. So don't be afraid of how people are going to think of you. Develop the I don't give a shit attitude. Yeah. Is it better to take 11 APs and get good grades than 13 APs and get many Bs? I would say 11 and 13 isn't too much of a difference in terms of numbers of APs. So take 11 and get good grades. Have you used the SAT Black Book? I think I used the ACT Black Book, not the SAT Black Book. I do not speak Cantonese. 我可以用中文讲话. How have you changed since starting high school? I think I became so much more confident since starting high school. Like when I was a freshman, I was so shy and scared to talk with upperclassmen and teachers, but I just pushed myself to do it. And I think with anything, you guys will find that if you're scared at first and then you do it anyway, you overcome that fear. So I think over high school, I've overcome the fear of judgment from other people. Yeah, just more self-confident, and I don't really care about how other people think anymore. Did you take any subject tests? Yes, I did, and I don't think they really strengthened my applications. What are some examples of clubs that are common / not impressive for people? It really depends. Like say if you're just a club member in DECA, for example, that doesn't really equate to anything. And being the president of a club honestly isn't very impressive either, unless you have really great community contributions as the president of that club. It certainly won't hurt your application, but it's just not going to get you in. if you're just the president of a club. Of course, if you're the president of a club and have a lot of other great attributes to you, all those added together could get you in. But so many people are presidents of so many clubs, right? Like your high school probably has at least 10 clubs, and all those clubs have a president, and multiply 10 by the amount of the number of schools that are around the world. Like that is so many club presidents. So just think about that. In general, how many hours of homework will 5 APs give you? It really depends on your school, like your teacher and the class really matters. So for example, AP Environmental Science, I had literally 0 hours of homework this year from that class, but AP Calc BC, I don't even know, like 2-3 hours a day. So it was very different. Will you be posting this live? I hope so. I need to figure it out. I have no idea how lives work. I low-key was going to be late to this thing because I didn't know how it was going to work and I was freaking out, but we're on it now and hopefully it'll be on my channel. What do you think is the most effective active recall method? Oh, are you getting this from, what's the Cambridge YouTuber? What's his face? I watch his YouTube videos actually. Ali Abdal. Yes, that's his name. I honestly don't know. I didn't really watch his study videos, but I would say watch his videos because he seems like he knows what he's doing. What careers are you considering? I have no idea. Which classes did you dislike the most? I hated so many classes. I'm so sorry. I hated APCS principles because the teacher didn't know what he was doing. He didn't even know how to locate a file on his computer. And the whole class was like an online class essentially because he couldn't teach CS. And so we just did an online course at our own pace for the class. And it was an AP class. So it was absolutely ridiculous. Your longest. That is so funny. Someone said that she was listening to this live stream for an hour and that's the longest attention span she's had over quarantine. Do you think you created a lot of your own leadership positions? Yes, I definitely think so. At my school, I was co-president of a club that already existed, but then I didn't actually enjoy that club too much. So I ended up creating things that felt more true to me. So that was the Tedx event that I hosted at my school and the Video Pal program. Is AP Econ hard? I really don't think so. I self-studied for it and I got 5s on both the exams. So I think you should be fine. Could you do more lives? You answered so many of my questions. Yes, I will definitely try to do more lives. I'm not really sure. What do you guys think? Like, when should I do lives? Like, I really like doing it. Like, today was kind of like a special occasion because it's my birthday, but maybe I'll do like a 2K subscribers live. I don't know. That sounds cheesy, but let me know your guys' thoughts. Is AP Comp Sci hard? There's a lot of AP Comp Scis. There's like AP Comp Sci Principles, AP Comp Sci A, I think like B. My school only offered Principles, and that one is a joke. So, but I think the other ones are harder though. AP Environmental Science or AP Bio for sophomore. Take AP Bio. All the admissions officers know that APES is a joke, so don't do that unless you have to senior year or something when you run out of classes. What computer do you use? I have a MacBook Pro 12-inch. I don't know. It doesn't have any of the fancy touch screens though. If you had a bad freshman year with Bs, but is that okay? Yes, I think that's completely fine. Stanford doesn't even consider your freshman year grades, so you'll be fine. Just make sure you have that upward trend. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. How do you go about starting a club at your school? It's very school specific, so find out what your school does. My school has a club application. You fill it out, and the principal approves it, and you're ready to go. I love this live. Oh, thanks. I'm going into high school next year. Do you have any advice? Check out my high school advice video. It's the most recent video on my channel. I know a channel with a freshman taking 6 APs. That is crazy. That is very, very crazy. My high school doesn't even let freshmen take APs. That's why I self-studied for 2 APs my freshman year. What extracurriculars do you recommend if I'm passionate about graphic design? I'm not sure because I'm not in your shoes. I don't know anything about graphic design really. I don't know. Think about your own motivations behind graphic design, why you got into it, and think about how you can make a community impact with graphic design and put those two together and try to create some impact in your local community through graphic design. If being present is pretty common, then can you elaborate on how to make it more of a valuable club? I would say the impact that you have with your club is more important than just having that title itself. So for example, if you can say, as key club president, you funded the first, coronavirus fundraiser in your city, and you were able to raise $500,000. That makes that president title way more meaningful than if you were just president and did nothing else. So what you do is a lot more important. You should definitely continue doing these lives. Yes. Apes is not a joke, Iris. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is what I'm saying. Like, I think it really depends on the school and your teacher. Like, my teacher for Apes and AP Comp Sci were, I don't know, like in Apes, all we did was watch movies about like environmental science, and there was no homework, and the tests were like common sense. So I don't know. I think Apes at my school is a joke. It definitely depends on your school, I think. Yeah. Are you a National Merit finalist? I am not. I did not do well on the PSAT because I did not study for it. I also don't think the PSAT matters very much, so that's why I didn't study for it. Yeah. How long did you study for the SAT and the ACT? For the ACT, I didn't study that much because I already took the SAT, but the SAT I studied for like a few hours every week for the summer leading up to it. So I took it in August, and I think I started in June. What APs did you study freshman year? I studied AP Macro and AP Chinese. How do you get into research? I can't find any opportunities. Look at my research video. I made one about like how you can land research opportunities as a high school student. What would be unique extracurriculars for business? Maybe start your own business and see how much money you can make and how much impact you can make through the business. That would be cool. How to start a nonprofit organization. Yes, check out that video. I have a video on starting a nonprofit. What activities can you do to stand out as an Asian American? Because it's very competitive. Yeah, that is so true. But I would say, just like if you were any other race, just do things that are true to you and that matter to you and make an impact in the community. Sorry, I feel like I'm like a robot saying the same things now. Let me know if you guys want me to be like more specific, but like just do things that's unique to you, because everybody is different. And I think what's unique to you is going to be literally unique to you, and nobody else is going to be able to do it. Do you have a dog? I do not. Is it required for applicants to have awards? There is an award section in the common application, so you have to put down 5 awards. So it's to your benefit if you have 5 awards and that those awards are good. Between a thing that you're already familiar with and a new challenging activity, which one should you choose? Definitely always go for the new challenging activity, but if you find that you're not enjoying it anymore, then quit and do something else that you enjoy doing. And I think what you would find in the end is that what you enjoy doing are good, like those things are going to be pretty similar. And so if you just quit something and start something new, it might be like in the same field. So for example, I enjoyed playing the flute. So I was in band, but then I hated band because of the, like, I don't know, like my school band is not very great because I go to public high school and anybody can join the band. And so it just felt like a waste of time, TBH. And so I quit band, but I started like going into more flute competitions. I started going to a symphony that's an hour away, that's like higher caliber. And those activities were also flute related, but I did quit the thing that wasn't challenging anymore to start new activities that were challenging. How can I study for AP tests as a freshman? I mean, just buy the books online and self-study for them and do a lot of practice tests. Sign up for the test in time and take it. Does anime translating sound like a... I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. All right, if my school does not offer as many AP classes, does that matter? Admissions officers always put you in the context of your school, so it doesn't really matter as long as you're taking advantage of all the resources available to you and trying to go a step above what's expected. So for me, my school didn't offer that many APs, but I went above and beyond by self-studying for a couple. Is AP Human Geo a good course to take? I think it's an okay course to take as a freshman. I didn't take it, my school didn't offer it, but from what I've heard, it just seems like that there are harder APs, like BC Calc, Chemistry, Physics C. Those are definitely like more workload than others, like, I don't know, like AP Gov, APES. But at the same time, it also really depends on your school, your teacher. I've been swimming for 8 years and I'm becoming a certified lifeguard. That's really cool. I don't think that I don't think, okay, like when I'm talking about like passion projects, I'm really talking about something where you're taking initiative in. So becoming a lifeguard, that's not something that you're creating for yourself. That's something that like other people created for you and you're just going through the system and you're becoming the lifeguard. So to really show initiative, I think you should be doing something that has never been done before. What are your 5 most recently used emojis? Oh, let's actually look at that, shall we? So let's just go to, oh my God, why? Okay, let me just, I guess I'll go to this text message. Okay. It's a heart. I mean, it's like a heart, the laughing emoji, that emoji, the star, and another heart. How much did you practice flute? Practice flute each day. I did not practice every day, but when I try to practice as much as possible, so maybe some days I'll practice like 3 hours, but some days it's 0. It just really depended on my schedule. Does ranking count? It counts a little bit because it does put you in context with the rest of your school, but a lot of schools don't even do rankings. So it's not going to make or break your application. So my school does ranking based off just your GPA, your unweighted GPA. And so a lot of people take non-honors courses and just have A's and they'll have a 4.0. And so say my boyfriend, for example, he got into Princeton and he had a B in one class. And so he was like ranked like 30 something out of like 200 people. But he still got into Princeton. So I don't think ranking is going to make or break it. All right. Do you have a LinkedIn? I do have a LinkedIn. I think if you just search up my name, Iris Fu, Stanford, you'll find it. What's your recent summer read? I've been reading the 4-Hour Workweek just because I'm trying to get into this whole like making money online thing. So yeah, trying that out and reading that book. How does AP courses, sorry, I lost it. How does AP compare to IB? I don't know. I think it's pretty similar, except IB, you only take IB classes your junior and senior year. So it seems like it's more tail end heavy. Like you can't really load up on IB classes like freshman, sophomore year, whereas APs, you can. Yeah. Do you think people without any awards can still get into top schools? I mean, you can for sure if you have a unique story and background, but your chances are just lower. How important is achieving valedictorian? I mean, statistically, you have a better chance if you're valedictorian, but it's not like you're going to get rejected just because you're not valedictorian. As I said, my boyfriend, he got a B, so he wasn't valedictorian, but he still got into Princeton. What's the easiest AP to self-study for? I think that really depends on you and what subjects come easily to you. So for me, econ was really intuitive, and I really like the way that you can think about like supply and demand. But if you're more of like a literature person and you just like reading literature and analyzing text comes easier for you, then that might be easier for you to self-study. What unique extracurriculars would you recommend for economics? Do National Econ Challenge, except I don't think that's that unique, but it was really fun either way. On your app to Stanford, did you put your intended majors? I put econ as my first thing, international relations as my second, and one like gender studies as my third. And I'm still interested in all 3. And I just didn't put comp sci because I had like no comp sci background in high school whatsoever. But I think as I've gotten through this quarantine time and started working at startups, I realized how important CS is. And I really want to push myself to learn CS because that's just something that's really hard for me to self-study for whatever reason. And so I think majoring in it would push me to learn. And if you guys want me to make a separate video on why I want to force myself to major in CS, I can totally do that. People say that AP Physics is incredibly hard. Would you agree? Yes, I think so. That's why I'm saying all AP classes are not created equal. AP Physics C was like so hard, so hard. And yeah, even with AP Physics, there's AP Physics 1, AP Physics 2, AP Physics C Mechanics, and then C Electricity and Magnetism. So there's 4 different AP Physics classes, and the last 2, with the C ones, are definitely harder. And like E&M, Electricity and Magnetism, is supposed to be like the hardest. Do you think you'll do any videos with your BF? Yeah, I asked him to be in it because you guys really wanted him in a video, right? In the recent poll. And then he was like, kind of like not wanting to do it. So we might need some more persuasion. We'll see. How many people get into the Ivies plus Stanford each year at your school? Literally like 0 to 1. So yeah, I don't go to a competitive school at all. Do college admissions officers compare you with other students from your school? I think they do. I think like if, for example, if someone from your school is going to get into the school, they're really unlikely to take a second person from your school if you go to like a small school. Yeah, so I think you do kind of get compared to your geographic region. Did you do ABRSM? Yeah, I actually did. I did like ABRSM for piano, and I did that all the way up to grade 8. But I actually didn't even put that on my college application just because it wasn't really a huge part. What is your favorite Ivy? I don't know. I would say maybe like Yale. Yale kids seemed the most chill and down to earth. What made you interested in comp sci? Oh, just working at startups and realizing how universal it is. It almost seems like another skill that we'll need in the future. Like it's like typing for the future. Like it's going to be a critical skill. If I'm a STEM major, what extracurriculars would you recommend? I would recommend definitely starting your own thing. I know a lot of people who started like a STEM initiative for like low income minority students, and they got into some really good schools. Honestly, a lot of top universities are very liberal or left-winged, and so they really like to see it when you dedicate yourself to like equity causes, like trying to contribute to like low income or minority communities, because they care about equity and fairness and everything like that, just like all the left-wing ideologies. So if you align with that and you do something on like, if you like act on that, you'll, I guess, kind of cater to what they like. But again, if you like don't align with that political ideology at all, then don't do it, because you'll probably hate it at top schools. Because just from everybody I've met at Stanford, with like recent political events, with like racial inequality and injustices, like so many people are so left, and it's not crazy to I think it would be crazy to see if you're coming from a very conservative state, but I do come from Oregon. We're already very liberal, but just seeing like how like it's like literally 90% of the people are Democrats. And if you look at like research and polls that have been done with just like top institutions, it's very clear that elite universities in the US are left-leaning. Okay. Would you publish a story or poem on an article count as an award? I think it could. I know a friend, if you look at the extracurricular video I made on like the extracurriculars you need to get into Stanford, a friend got in, but like, I mean, not got in, like she put like awards like Forbes magazine, this thing, like something like that. Like she got an award from a publication, and she was like named like, I don't know, like 30 under 30. I don't know. It's like things like that. And those are technically awards. I would recommend taking AP Macro over AP Micro first. I think it's just a better foundation. It's easier in a sense as well, because it's not as nitpicky on the math. Could we be excellent at something by working hard? Yes, for sure. Hard work is like 50% of it, and then smart work is the other 50%. I bought an Algebra 1 book, but I'm struggling to self-teach myself. Any tips? Oh, that is hard. Seek mentorship. Khan Academy has great Algebra 1 resources, I think. So if you don't know a concept, just search it up on Khan Academy and watch the video on it. How much, oh yeah, Peter. Peter says he's Khan Academy. How much homework did you have junior year? Oh my God, I had so much homework junior year. I took 6 APs junior year. So it was a lot. And yeah, that was definitely the hardest year. Would you say Stanford is left-winged? Yes, for sure. I find this very inspiring. Are you posting this live? Hopefully. I don't know how to post this live, so if I can't, I'm sorry, but I'm going to try my best to post it. Your book project was so inspiring. I'm interested in immigration reform. Ooh. I'm thinking about, yes, that sounds so cool. I think creating a book isn't what's going to stand out. I think it's really the topic and your motivation behind creating the book that really matters. I've never heard of any high schooler being like, I'm so interested in immigration reform. So I think just that by itself is making you a special applicant in person. College cares about equity and all that. USC and its trust fund babies. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's so weird. It's so whack. The college system, like if you look at how colleges are managing their endowment, like Stanford literally has not divested from fossil fuels, and that is the most like left wing thing you can do, right? By divesting from fossil fuels. And so that's a very right wing thing for them to do, is to continue supporting, like the oil industry. But its students and its faculty members are definitely left winged. So admissions officers are most likely going to be pretty left winged as well. I've been doing anime translations for 4 years and have an app on iOS and Samsung. That sounds super cool. I've never heard of anyone doing that. Yeah, it sounds like a good extracurricular activity. I would say a good test to see how interesting your extracurricular is just like ask yourself, do you know anybody else who's doing that? If it's no, then it's probably a good sign that it's a good extracurricular just because it's unique. What do you think about need-aware scholarships since your financial aid will be taken into account? I don't know. Wait, what do you mean by need-aware scholarships? Could you clarify that? Is that associated with the college? Could you make a video on how to work smart? Yeah, for sure. Let me actually add that to my list. Let me just start a note thing. I have a list on like everything. Are you left wing or right wing? I think I'm definitely left leaning, but pretty moderate, I would say. Do colleges expect you to do summer programs? Colleges definitely expect you to make the most out of your summer, but it's definitely understandable if, say, you have family commitments and you need to take care of your younger siblings, or you need to work to make an extra income for your family. So in that sense, you're not expected to do programs, but if you have the means, you're definitely expected to make the most out of your time. Why do you think you didn't get into Stanford the first time? Oh my God, let me tell you, my essays were crap. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, and I think I just wrote really generic essays that I thought was what admissions officers would want to hear. And that definitely works against your favor. So the second time around, I just wrote like whatever the heck I wanted. Like I wrote about dog testicles and just really weird things that were pretty quirky as well. And I didn't have too many people give me opinions. Like I'm pretty sure my boyfriend said a lot of my essays were really weird, but in the end, I just kind of uh, like stuck to my intuition and what I went with. And I submitted those, and I definitely didn't think I was going to get in because I just honestly didn't care about the application that much at that point. So I just submitted it, and I little did I know I got in. So I think just the fact that I wrote it as how I would have written it and didn't really consider what an admissions officer would want to hear, that helped me be more authentic and ultimately stand out. Bruh, go eat lunch before all the food is gone. LOL. Yeah, it's eat dinner. It's dinner time. But this is so fun. Yeah, I thought I was going to end it like 20 minutes ago, but you guys are still having so many questions. Jeez. Okay, maybe I really need a hard deadline. Let's see. Smart goals and setting routines like your best life. If I start an organizational blog, would that be a good? I don't know what that means. What do you mean by organizational blog? Oh, Tyler just donated $1.99 for me to buy a Twix on my birthday. Thank you, Tyler. I will have to go buy myself a Twix. I actually love Twixes. I think they're my favorite, like branded chocolates or whatever you would call that. Do competitive and selective summer camps look good to colleges? I actually don't. I think selective ones definitely yes, but there are a lot of ones that make you pay a lot of money. Like YYGS without scholarship is like $6,000 for 2 weeks, and I don't think those are particularly impressive to colleges just because you got in and you're going. But there are some other summer programs that are completely free, like Nestle, that are also competitive. Like Nestle has like an 18% acceptance rate, and that I would say it's a self-selecting group, and I think it looks good to colleges only if it aligns with your interests in the first place. But it doesn't hurt. Can you do a read your essay video? Yes, Lala Leela. I already did read my essay video. You can see those in my channel. What were your generic essay topics? Oh geez. I wrote one like I don't think okay, like maybe I wouldn't call them like generic. I would just call them like not well thought out and really not insightful. I wrote one on like communism in China versus democracy in the US, and it didn't really have that much to do with me as a person. So I think that was so bad. Could you read the essays? Yeah, maybe I will. Like reading my rejected essays. Yeah, let me add that to the thing. Reading my rejected essays. Oh, my boyfriend and I went to the same high school, so we met in school, I guess. Iris child, please go eat. It's in my bathroom. Yeah, guys, my mom's up again, but yeah, I'm gonna go eat soon. I will end this in 6 minutes. I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to end in 6 minutes. Yes, need-aware scholarships mean if a person with the same stats as you are willing to fail that. Are you talking about like colleges, like need-aware schools? Like need-aware financial aid? I don't think that makes too much of a difference. If you look at my financial aid video with a lot of international students at Stanford, it's called like Get That Bread. You will see that most of them applied as internationals to Stanford wanting financial aid or scholarships, and it's need aware for internationals. So admissions officers knew they needed money, but they got accepted anyway. And most of them were need aware. So I don't think it ultimately makes that much difference. Stanford has so much money. A lot of these top schools have a lot of money. So ultimately, it's not going to make too much of a difference. Can you explain a personality score? Watch my how Harvard admissions officers rate applicants video. I explain it there. Can a more introspective metaphorical essay about your personality be good? It could be good. Depends on how it comes off though. It's like ideas can be great, but like how you package it at the end is kind of what makes the difference. Just like how, like, say Beethoven's Für Elise, it's a great piece of music, but depending on how the performer plays the piece at the end, it really makes a difference. Why did you put YYGS in the award section? Isn't an award, but rather a summer program? Yeah, so if I put it in the activity section, it would have been a waste of space because you only get 10 activity slots, and YYGS was only 2 weeks. And I just didn't want to prioritize it. And so I just kind of put it as an honor that I got selected for the program. Have you seen the Uchicago essay prompts? Oh my gosh, yeah, I have seen them. It's like compare an apple to an orange. Do you think they are a good essay prompts for the Common App? I don't necessarily think so, unless you can really incorporate your personal life into it. That's my cup of tea for that. I think Uchicago, they want to see how you think as a person. So I think that's why it's their supplemental essay. How heavy was your backpack in high school? Okay, yeah, it was heavy. It was heavy. But then toward the tail end of my high school, we started going like online more and less textbooks. So it started getting lighter. Could you, oh yeah, yes, I'm gonna make a video on my rejected essays. That's gonna be funny. I really want to start a business selling environmentally healthy toothbrushes. Ooh, tea. Scared no one will buy it. Oh, you're not sure how to start a business. I think there are a lot of great articles online about how to start an online business. I'm personally reading a lot. Like I said, I was reading the 4-Hour Workweek, and I've been like Googling a lot on like how to start a successful blog, how to start a successful YouTube channel. So if you just like Google like how to start a successful online business, I think that'd be great. Also, you can look into what is it called? Like flipping. Like people would buy stuff from China and sell it in the US. And I think toothbrushes, that sounds like something you can do through e-commerce. Yeah. And there's so many YouTube videos with like finance bros being like, how you can make $1 million from e-commerce. So you can look into those. You could bring us with you to eat. I'll probably eat with my family. Just because it's kind of my birthday and it's like dinner. Your videos are so helpful. Yeah, I'm glad you find them helpful. How do you write a book on a subject you're not a legit expert on? Yeah, that's definitely something that a lot of high schoolers face. I would say make it geared toward a younger audience than yourself. So from like as a high schooler, you can probably teach a concept you've learned to an elementary schooler or a middle schooler. So for example, with me, I self-studied for AP Econ and I felt like I had a solid grasp on AP Econ material. And so I translated that into something that's digestible for middle schoolers. So that would be my 2 cents on that. Just translate it to something even more basic than what you know. Did you have an interview to Stanford? Yes, I did. And it was actually a really good interview. But I also had friends who were like, oh my God, my interview was so bad and they got in. So I don't know. Have you been discouraged from applying to a school you would have wanted to apply to? Because, oh yeah, Uchicago, I really wanted to apply to Uchicago, but then at the end, I just literally couldn't write their essays. And I was like, this school is probably not for me because I can't write their essays. I did not do DECA in high school. Sorry. I can't give you more advice on that. You should do a Zoom chat next time. Yeah, maybe. What other activities did you do the first time you applied to Stanford? That's a good question. I did not have, the first time I applied to Stanford, I did not have my Video Pal program. I did not have my book, and I did not have my study abroad experience. And those 3 activities ended up being central to my application the second time around. Do you absolutely need to take the most rigorous courses in high school? I think it's a pretty recommended thing to do, so definitely do it if you can. But if for whatever reason you don't have the means to or you just can't, it wouldn't break your application, but you'll just have such a leg up if you do take the most rigorous classes. Bring us to dinner. Oh, okay, guys. I think it's time for us to go. I told myself we're gonna end this at 1:30, an hour and a half. So I think we're gonna end it now. But you can get my econ book on Amazon. And I think starting a business really depends on how you start your business. Oh my gosh. Like what type of a business you do. Like try to start a business that no one else has started. That's what's gonna make it unique. And yes, unique activities impress things. All right. Yes. Okay. Yes, we will do another live soon. And I will tell my family hi. All right. Bye, guys. It's so nice chatting with you guys. All right. I'm going to do another live soon, and hopefully this will be posted on my channel. Okay. Bye. Love you. Bye. How do we end this? Oh, my God. I don't know how to end it. Oh, here we go. All right. Bye, guys. Wait. It's not ending.